What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. Welcome to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you for all of your love and support. Over 1,400 episodes and 500,000 streams worldwide. None of this would be possible without you guys, so I thank you so very much. I am super duper trooper excited, you guys, because yes, we're still living a bit of a quarantine life. You know what I'm saying? We still living a little bit of quarantine life, but that don't mean that you still can't have fun. And I tell everyone, like all the time, my very favorite era just in life is the 90s. I'm an 80s baby, yes, but I grew up in the 90s between 90s music, pop culture, clothes, just everything. 90s was just the pinnacle, I feel, of just my existence. So I actually crossed paths with a company that celebrates 90s nostalgia. So today I have with me Philip and Susan of Temple Kardy. Hey, you guys.
Hey, how's it going?
How you guys doing today?
Doing great, doing great. Happy
Awesome.
to be here.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all. So what part of the country are you guys holding down right now?
We're in New York City.
New York City, my birthplace. I love it. Loving it. All right, so how did Temple Kardy come to be?
Right. So long ago, no, I don't start that way, but so essentially in 2017, we had the idea. I think it came from I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've had multiple businesses, and in 2017, I actually had a company out in the Dominican Republic. That was a digital marketing company, and I was out there. I had a staff of about 12. And I was just running and gunning, so to speak. But I was by myself, and I didn't quite see myself doing that long term, and so I decided to kind of wind down that project. I came back to the United States, and I said that at that point I was only going to do things that coincided with like who I was. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to make sure that it reflected the culture, right? It reflected culture, because that's a big thing for me. Yeah. And for Susan as well. And so, I just kind of sat. And also, I have a 9-year-old, or at least she's 10 now, actually. Oh. And then, Susan has 2 boys as well, my nephews. And so, we talk a lot about, obviously legacy. We talk a lot about, Black entrepreneurship and empowerment. And, we decided to start the business, and my daughter's name is Temple, and her god sister's name is Kardy, and so that's how it became Temple Kardy. And so the logo, Temple's older than Kardy, and so the logo is Temple pulling Kardy in like a wheelbarrow, yes, or wagon. And so it just kind of blossomed from there. I want to think back and try to remember what the first T was. It probably was something with a different world. No, I remember it. It was actually the Fresh Prince. It was the Fresh Princess, Ashley Banks, from the Fresh Prince, and it just kind of took off from there. And so, we talked a lot about the culture around the brand. We didn't want to have just kind of a flash in the pan, chop shop where we're just, kind of slinging t-shirts. Yeah. We wanted to create a real brand, with real customers, so to speak, but more so like a family. Folks who shared a lot in common, and, we understood really quickly that the teas themselves were conversation starters. Mm. And that was something that was important to our audience. They see that and they're like, oh, I remember that episode, and I remember that show, and you have to be a part of the culture for some of these scenes. Yes. If you never saw Baby Boy, then you don't understand our Baby Boy tea. You know what I mean? You don't understand Mama gotta have a life too, right? And that's authentic, right? And, you know, there's a lot of groups out there that like to, you know, for lack of a better term, they like to steal from our culture. They'll miss out on stuff like that because they don't, you know, they don't love it the way we love it, right? And so, you know, that's what created, you know, that's what lent itself to what we coined at the time, which were melanin moments. So we call them melanin moments, and we promote, you know, Black nostalgia, and Black pop culture. So that was essentially the start.
Yeah, and what I'd say about you guys and about your brand and what makes you so different is I love the fact that you're very strategic in what you do with just the different references of the culture. And when I say that, it's like you were saying before, like it wasn't like, oh well, you just wanted to put a catchphrase on a T-shirt and sell a couple hundred T-shirts.
Right,
no, like
right.
you guys are actually pulling a nostalgic memory from a whole generation. And so, like, you know, I've got nieces and nephews that, you know, they've never seen Fresh Prince, or they don't, you know, they're not old enough to look at Martin and, you know, to get those jokes. So, like, for me, like, seeing, like, the Living Singles, just like, oh, my gosh, yes, Khadijah, Regine, you know, it just automatically just, like, it excites me because, as you guys know, like, in this world of 2020, even, you know, minus COVID-19, there's just not any originality out there. I find myself actually, you know, Netflix and chilling, and I'm watching old 90s shows because there's nothing really worthy. I've tried to look at stuff in today's world. There's nothing really worthy that really like resonates with our generation. And so I really tip my hat, and you guys really just being strategic and not just throwing out whatever catchphrase or whatever, you know, looks appealing for the moment. Like y'all are actually doing research and finding out what works and what is going to connect a whole generation of people. So I support that.
No, we appreciate that. I'm glad that you noticed it. I mean, when we have an idea, you know, we sit around and we talk about it. And we go out and we look and we see, does this shirt already exist? And if it exists, then 9 out of 10 times, say 9.5 times out of 10, we won't do it. You know, it's funny, like we released recently, we're not promoting it heavily yet. We're going to send out a whole newsletter around it, but we recently did the Dave Chappelle Prince tee. I'm not sure if you saw it, but
I saw that one. That was cute.
Yeah. So there's a ton of Prince tees, right?
Yeah.
And so or Prince Dave Chappelle tees, but like, you know, we didn't want to just put it out, and obviously everyone would know what it is, and sure, we would sell a bunch, but you know, we have to be original. It has to be, you know, something that no one thought of, and so it was just kind of like, well, let's put them on a pancake box, you know, Prince cakes, and you know, the syrup, and you know, do the whole sublimation all over print. And just make it bigger than everything that we saw when we were looking. Because, you know, one thing you find out is that there's almost nothing new under the sun, but, you know, it's certainly a different way. You know, your approach can be different.
Right.
And, we want to be around for a long time, right? So we want to grow with the audience because, you know, obviously we're in our mid to late 30s. But, you know, folks that are familiar with these scenes, you know, could range in age. Like I know we sell to folks who are in their late 20s because their older sister or maybe their mom, you know, put them on to, you know, Living Single or Different Worlds or whatever. And they've grown to love it, right? And so, you know, all the way up to people who are in their early 50s, you know, who watch those. And so we're going to grow with those guys. We're going to grow with you guys. And you know, we're going to continue to bring out scenes that resonate. And you'll be able to wear those tees your whole life because you're always going to love that movie or you're always going to love that song or that group. And you're always going to remember that moment. You know what I mean? So, no, it's super important on our end to be really, you know, as original as possible and put a lot of thought into the actual design.
Absolutely. You guys are doing it. You're absolutely doing it. Now, last but certainly not least, what is next for you guys? What is on the horizon?
Oh, I guess Susan's on mute. So, hello. I mean, we have a ton, right? So obviously we're getting ready for Q4, and you know, there's areas of the country where t-shirts are always going to move, but on the East Coast the temperature is going to drop a bit. So you know, we're looking at some, you know, re-releasing some hoodies. And then also, some jackets as well, which we've never sold jackets before, so this is something new for us. We actually have some samples that we're testing out. We want to make sure that one, they're of the highest quality, but two, the production time is not too long. Particularly with what's going on in the world right now. And then we do have a top secret thing that we're working on. It's a bit of a game that we're going to use to interact with the audience. So for folks who are interested in 90s pop culture, even late 80s pop culture and early 2000s pop culture, for those who have seen the Juvenile tee, you know what to do when you hear the Cash Money record. But for folks who know about that, right? Actually, a lot of these youngsters know about that. That song has stood the test of time. But in any event, we've got tons of things, for Q4 that we're super excited about, that we're going to bring to you guys, and we just want to keep on surprising the audience, like with scenes that they didn't expect to see on a t-shirt or a skirt or a jacket or a mask at this point. We're pretty fired up about the end of the year.
Okay, cool beans. Well, Philip, Susan, thank you so much for joining us today. Much more success to you guys. 2020 and beyond. We're going into 2021. We claiming that. Yes, it's coming through.
Yep.
Let everybody know the best way to get in contact with you guys, of course, to catch up some of those teas, and of course to follow you on social media.
Okay, so the website is www.templekardy, Kardy.com, and Instagram is also Temple Kardy. So you can follow us there. You can go onto the website, sign up for our deals, and also sign up for your mailing list to see all the new stuff that's coming in.
All right, It's going to be new stuff. All right, Philip, Susan, Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, you guys are more than welcome back when you got new announcements, because I know it's going to be some new stuff coming, some new.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Definitely appreciate you guys, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys for all of your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face, you tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.